All right, guys, welcome back. So we are going to see if we can get my electric steering in there. This is off of a Prius, and it's nice and tight and slim. Once I get this section off, it's going to be really tight there with that Z bar for the clutch. So first thing we need to do is we need to take off this section right here, and you just hammer it off. If we can. I might have to cut it a little bit right there, and then it'll come off there. But it needs to come off this shaft. I don't need this whole shaft. So there, I moved a little bit, I think. No. So this is what we have to do. We have to get this long shaft out first. And I don't need any of this, any of these parts. See, that's getting loose. See if I can. There we go. Okay. So that we don't need. All right, and then I'll eventually have to build a bracket to hold this up in place, you know, because this whole thing will move. But like I said, I have to get this whole thing off and see how this whole shaft here. So what I'll do is I'll cut along here, and because I need every inch I can get, and then we'll probably have to cut that off there and make our own little grooves and sections in between my steering box and my steering wheel. So that came off real easy. And if I don't know if I'm going to use this, but if I take these out, I have to make sure that I put washers back in that go exactly, you know, that width, because if not, you're gonna those bolts are gonna go down onto that the gear mechanism in here, and it's going to rub. So I have to remember that if I take this off, I need to put washers along there. Okay. All right. So now I'll have to cut around there, unless I could get this off somehow. But I don't know if that's gonna work. Probably it's going to be easiest just to cut it. I might cut it one section right here if I can see exactly what I'm getting down in there, and then maybe one right at the end. All right, let me get my cutting wheel. All right, took me like 15 minutes just to find my safety glasses. Okay, so I think I'm just going to make, like I said, a little cut. And we're going to have to cut the main shaft too, but like I said, I kind of just want to take this off little by little. And it looks like it goes all the way down. So I'll be okay actually taking it to the end right here. Let me look again, because we should be getting through it. Already down there. It's not all the way cut through. Alright, I'm going to keep going, and I'm just going to go all the way around, because I think what's happening is it's pressed on. That's what it looks like. I probably could get a pair of Well, maybe I can try that. Maybe get a pair of a pipe wrench on there. I just don't have a vise. I wish I had a vise. I don't think I'm going to be able to move that. I don't know. Let me see. Let me get a pipe wrench on there first and see if I can move it before I cut it any further. Let's see here. Maybe before I cut it, because I'm trying to see, there's, like I said, it looks like it's pressed in on top of something, but let me cut a little bit, cut a little bit more right here and see if I can get through. Yeah, see, I'm breaking through right there, and I'm not down there, so I'm gonna cut right there, and we'll work our way down that way. That way I can see down there a little bit better once we get closer down there. God, this fly. Of course, I ran out of cutting wheels. That was my last wheel on there. All right, go to the store. That's how it always works, you know. You're like working on something, and then you thought you had that stuff, you know, your tools and stuff or whatever, and you don't have it. So anyway, we'll go to the store. Come back. So now that I got that section cut off, you can see there's a little lip down in there, so that's pressed in there. All right, so what I can do is I can cut this way up, or I can go straight. I could cut straight down to the bottom. It doesn't matter. You can even get closer there and then cut that out, and then go just flush from there. I think that's what I'm just going to do, because it's not going to matter. Yeah, so we'll just cut down to that lip and then go from there, and then we will have to cut this, and we'll have to make a weld on some type of joint or something later on. I don't have a welder, so I might have to come at this another day. Like I said, this is just getting the pieces kind of cut and everything like that. That way I can kind of set it in there and see what modifications I need to do, or because I might even need to get a hydraulic clutch set up for it, and you know, we'll see. So yep, it might fit, it might not, but anyway, this is what we're doing. We're getting it set up as close as I can, and then we'll have to probably maybe come back to it later on after I figure out what else I need to do. If it, you know, if it looks like it's going to just fit in, and then I can make a bracket and have it sit on there, then perfect, you know. But we're gonna see. I'm pretty concerned about that. Like I said, that Z-bar for the clutch, but like I said, we'll see. All right, so now that let me keep going. Put a slit down there. See, it's rotating. Ow! Smashed my finger. But so we broke it loose. Now maybe we're able to slide that off. There we go. And we'll see if we can get this off. All right. We are rotating it. It's coming free. So yeah, we'll have to mess around a little bit more, but I think I'll be able to get that off. coming. Slow but sure. Now that I got it in there, maybe I can pry in between. There we go. Let's see if we can smack it off there now. We are close. We are close. Hey! All right. Okay, so now we get that off. Whew. Now, oh, my holder just broke. Great, oh great, oh great. Everything good comes to an end, I guess. Let's see if I can hold the camera up. Let's see, I got a little thing here. Got a little kickstand. Okay. See if the kickstand will hold it in place where it needs to be. Let me see. Can't get a good angle on it. Let's see here. Okay. Maybe that. So see, this is where it's going to be a tight fit in there. If I bring it right up, I'd have to bring it right up to the right here. Let me flip it around. It needs to go the other way, but let's see if I can flip it around. And this isn't the correct way it goes in, I think. I'll have to double check. Yeah, so this one, no, this way would have to go forward, but just kind of looking at it, it's going to be probably too tight of a fit right now. So what I'm going to have to do, because it would fit right where my oil dipstick is, and I'm just looking at it, I'm just thinking, so down here, so here's the arm, here's the Z-bar, and because if I want to go to rack and pinion eventually, and that's what this was originally for, is when I got it for $100. So it is what it is. So, but if I was to cut that, I could get right up. You can see where my connection is, right up in there. It would just be really close to that header, and I definitely have to wrap this, in some stuff. So I can cut to the end of those splines there. And then we can get a better idea once I cut that, how close it's going to be, because it'll be a super tight fit. Actually, you know what? I'm actually just looking right now. I would have to. Let me measure it, because I don't think it's going to fit exactly. So if I had that gone, so from there to there, it's about 3 inches. Well, and I could go a solid, so I could go a little bit more. So yeah, this is going to be too big for now. Okay, because I need about 7 inches. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to wait until I get a rack and pinion. But I do got all the hard parts done for that. I've seen other people put in the electric steering. They have the rack and pinion, and they have the whatchamacallit, the hydraulic clutch too. So this is more of just a wishful thinking, but I feel good today, so I'm getting that to where it needs to be. So now this will be almost ready. I'm gonna stop right there. This will be almost ready. So when I do get ready for it, it will, you know, I'll have all the hard stuff already done. Okay, we're gonna leave off that for the electric steering until, because I need more money. So I definitely need to, you know, start saving up some money for that. But that's the next step for the electric steering, and we'll come back to it when I come back to it.